Today, we are going hands-on with the Tudor's latest release, the Black Bay Chrono 39. We're going to talk specs, fit on the wrist, compare it to the industry standard for perfectly fitting chronographs, aka the Daytona, and also talk about what this watch means for the brand and also the broader watch world at large. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the specs. The big news is this new version of the Black Bay Chrono measures in at 39mm in diameter and crucially 13.1 millimeters in thickness. On paper, those revisions might not sound like a big difference from the current 41mm chrono, but on the wrist, it makes a massive difference. This feels like a completely different watch, and I think this is particularly noticeable with the case height. Tudor has shaved almost 1.5 millimeters, and it never sounds like a lot when you say it, but on the wrist, you can really feel the difference. Honestly, this kind of feels like how the watch should have been in the beginning. It just feels so nice on the wrist. I don't think this just comes from the case revisions either, because the other big news is that Tudor has done away with the fake rivets, which I am personally really happy about. I've been waiting for them to do that for ages, but ultimately it adds, I don't know, like an overall sleekness to the feel of this watch. But look, these are all words and figures. I always think it's nice to compare new releases with something else as a reference, a kind of industry standard. And there really is no better option in the chronograph space than the Daytona. It's also especially relevant as a sister brand of Tudor. Looking at these two watches side by side, you can see that from the overall silhouette, they're actually quite close. I think profile-wise, the Daytona is still more refined, but the two watches have never been so close. And I really appreciate that with Tudor, the bezel is thinner and it's in aluminium and there's no crown guards. I think it's one for the vintage heads. But don't just take my word for it. Let's go check with the guys in the office and see what everyone else thinks about these new dimensions.
I really like it. I love the slimness of the case now. That's the main thing. Like the biggest size diameter-wise wasn't even that big of an issue for me with the bigger one. It was so thick and so like unwieldy on the wrist.
Just in time for summer, that color is actually perfect. Very fun. I like that they're playing with the color. I'm just excited to see what's the next one gonna be.
I love it. I love it, Nick. It's doing what we really want Tudor to do, which is step out of Rolex's shadow. Rolex seems to be getting bigger at the moment. Tudor's going smaller. I can't see Rolex putting that dial on any of their flagship pieces.
No, I'm a big fan. I think they're getting closer and closer to a perfect bracelet.
Do you think Tudor's stepping on Rolex's toes with this watch? Looking oyster bracelet, looking very similar, size like a Daytona?
Yeah, I think, potentially, but I think it's still two completely different ball games.
What shocked me when this watch got announced was that there's no new movement to accommodate these revised dimensions. It's the same caliber MT5813. It's a great movement, 72 hours of power reserve, in-house, but what it means is that Tudor could have effectively used these dimensions all along. And this is something I'm really keen to get your opinion on, because many people are suspicious that Tudor purposely makes watches that are bigger and thicker and overall less ergonomic to ensure that Rolex maintain that more refined image. Similarly with the bracelet, to ensure that Tudor isn't stepping on Rolex's toes, they put those fake rivets on. Or is it just purely an aesthetic choice? The rivets tie into the vintage styling, and that when the Black Bay Chrono first launched, the trend was actually for bigger watches, and they were still popular at that time. I'm really curious to get your take on this. Let me know what you think. But of course, we also need to touch on the dial. As this watch has been launched with a bright yellow dial, Tudor has nicknamed the Bumblebee. I guess the color kind of makes sense considering people's appetite for colorful dials and also the success of the pink and flamingo blue dials from the 41mm version of this watch. I do think though it's inevitable that we'll see other dial colors, including more neutral and muted options for people with more conservative tastes who want to enjoy these perfect 39mm dimensions. I guess on a bigger picture, looking at this watch and the timing of its release, I think it shows where the industry is right now. Brands are listening to collective feedback and responding, which it's only a good thing. This year at Watches and Wonders, we saw brands giving people what they want. And a perfect example of this is the Octo Finissimo in 37mm. This was a universally well-received watch, and it was a direct result of collective feedback. And honestly, I think this new Black Bay Chrono will be similarly praised, especially as people start to get this watch on the wrist, because it really does feel great. This unworn example is live on the site right now. We'll put a link in the description so you can check it out. And as always, we would appreciate likes, comments, and subscriptions, as it really benefits the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon.